One more day. One day. One day. One day. I'm going into my musical career.
Good luck.
All right, now that that's over, welcome everybody back to the Beehive Biker Podcast. Today, it's just the two of us, and we don't know what we're doing.
No,
I'm just kidding. We somewhat know what we're doing. It's just been kind of crazy since we've been moving all over the place. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I took the equipment to drill and recorded with Major Karchner, and then we took it with us on our Bear Lake trip and recorded there.
we've been around. This is kind of strange being back in the office, you know?
I know. It took me a minute to put it back together. I'm glad that it's you with me today and not anyone else, because what you can't see off camera is this room is a mess, and actually the rest of my house is a mess too. We're doing the old pull everything out and re-put it back in.
Yeah.
You got to do it every once in a while. So trying to organize this room a little bit more so that we can upgrade it in some ways and hopefully make this content a little better. Speaking of which, we're trying something new today, and hopefully it pans
works.
out. We got camera. Or should I say phone?
Hopefully soon it'll be camera.
If we,
That would be nice.
that would be nice. So we are going to be talking about something we probably should have talked about
a while ago.
2 weeks ago before we went on our trip. But before we get to that, let's go over some events coming up. Today's the 29th, so I'm going to scroll down.
And I'm guessing that you missed it, but I think yesterday the Hive crew had an event down in Salt Lake again.
Did they?
I believe so.
I thought I saw one coming up, but I didn't think it was till October.
Maybe.
I could be wrong.
I thought it was yesterday. I could be wrong too.
So why is it only showing me September stuff? Is it because there might be only one event happening in October that at least Law Tigers has on their calendar at the moment? You want to guess what it is?
I have no idea.
It's the Lucky Slice Pizza
Oh.
meetup. Wait, that can't be right, because Gary just sent me the one for the Centerville meetup. Was it next Tuesday or something like that? At Young Power Sports. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Come on, Law Tigers, update your calendar.
You're messing with us. We use you guys a lot.
How are we supposed to know where to go if you guys don't post? No, that's okay. So I think so. There's that on the 30th at the Clearfield Lucky Slice, which is a lot of fun. It's 10% discount for food with helmet provided. So you got to show you have your helmet. We weren't there this last one, which was this last week for September, but I was at the one in August, and it was a lot of fun. So a lot of cool people to meet and make friends. So if you're looking for people to ride with or whatnot.
So here's the question. Did you actually have to ride, or could you have just taken
shown
your
up with your
car
helmet?
with a helmet? I'm like, hey, I have my helmet.
They probably would not check, but where's the fun in that?
Right. I'm just saying. If your bike's out in the shop and you can't, but you want to go.
Right. Well, that is what
they-
Randy did, because his bike that same day, I think it was the shift linkage busted.
Oh, see?
So he couldn't even bring his bike home from work. He ended up going to get the part and then going to the event and then driving back to work to go get his bike. So, yeah.
See, so I think it's just helmet provided. Now, obviously, you want to show up with a motorcycle.
Come on, get
have
the
fun
bike
with,
out there.
Yeah, right. But, like, if you can't, it's not like they're going to turn you away.
October 30th. That might be a chilly ride.
Yeah.
I'd like to go. But
I was
still.
also going to say, is it also, weather pending?
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to guess that most every other month is a good weather day for the most part. I don't know. Maybe. But, man, what was that? Let me look it up real quick. Because Gary was just texting me about it yesterday. At the Young Power Sports.
In Centerville,
the XL that has literally everything but Harley. Come on, dude. There he is. Maybe. Oh, okay. Here it is. So, Young Power Sports, Friday, October 4th, 8 p.m. to 6 p.m.
8 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Sorry, I'm handicapped. I'm having a stroke. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is the earliest we've ever recorded.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is early in the morning.
I looked at I have the time up on the ceiling because I have a projector.
Uh-huh.
I looked up and I'm like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. I gotta go.
Hey, I'm performing rather well. I didn't go to bed till like 2 in the morning.
Oh boy.
And then I woke up at 8. And so
Oof.
I don't know why is it that I can't be this awake
on a normal day?
On a work day when I get less than 8 hours. Like if I sleep 7, it's like, I'm dying in the morning. But I got maybe 6 hours of sleep and I'm fine.
Well, your body runs on 90-minute increments.
Is it just some sort of rhythm? I'm waking up at the wrong time.
So if you're waking up, if you went 7.5 hours, you'd actually wake up feeling pretty good. But because you wake up at 7 hours, you're 30 minutes off. So it's throwing your body off.
My sleep sleep
weird.
hygiene is garbage. Plus, I really should be better at it because, well, you and I are commuting an hour to work, so it's just not good for us to.
No, not at all.
And you're waking up at what? 3?
So on Fridays I'm up at 3:30, and any other day I'm up at 4. So
you're crazy.
Yeah,
you're crazy.
Well, when you work in a job that you can get into places super early and not have to deal with a lot of people, it's a lot easier to do that.
So is it not required that you go at that time exactly, or is it just as long as you get your
trucks have to leave the yard by 7?
Gotcha.
So, I mean, you could come in at 6:30 and leave.
But you're leaving the shop by what time?
Yeah, I'm leaving the shop. It all really depends on the day. So, like, on Fridays, it's like 4:45. And any other day, it's like 5:30. But then you have to drive to your area. So, like, my brother works for the same company, but he gets to the yard at 4 because he has to drive to the bottom part of Utah County.
Oh, geez.
And so he's got even longer distance. But it's all really based on, do you want to be dealing with customers in your accounts while you're trying to service them?
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're just going to be standing there waiting for 40 people to go across your mat so that you can pick up the mat. Or you can just show up an hour early when they're closed and have no problem, you know?
Yeah, makes sense. I don't have to deal with that.
No.
Well, I guess I, in a way, do. Because when they do fire alarm inspections, they want to set off all the strobes and all the horns and everything. And so a lot of people don't take it very kindly when you're setting it off in their workplace. So I guess in a way, but I don't know. There's two guys that's all they're about. That's all they want to do. And so they're coming at 5 a.m. to go do that stuff. And I'm like, good luck, dude.
Yeah. No kidding.
Not coming that early. Anyways, let's move on to today's topic. We are going to be talking about group riding, and maybe we'll learn some things that we didn't know already, which by just glancing at this this little page we have here, I think that I will learn some things. We're looking today at the msfusa.org. They have a group riding segment. Let's just roll off. Says, this is ironic because Zach and I were reading this earlier, and I was like, Okay. Says motorcycling is primarily a solo activity, but for many, riding as a group, whether with friends on a Sunday morning ride or with an organized motorcycle rally, is the
Epitome.
I can't read.
It's 9 a.m.
The epitome of the motorcycling experience. Here are some tips to help ensure a fun and safe group ride. That is bullcrap. I have met more people that ride as groups than people that ride only solo.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Major Karchner 2 weeks ago, he's like, yeah, I mainly like riding by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like most people I've ever met they like going out with other people.
Right.
And that's not to say that like one way is better than the other, but to make a comment like that, I'm like, whatever, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll throw up this picture, hopefully on the video, but we're looking at a diagram of some riders, and it says, when staggered, you should have 1 second between the stagger, 1 second of riding, and then 2 seconds between the people who are in line with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Surprisingly, no, but I mean, I feel like it's just common sense because you want to have enough time to react to the person in front of you. And if something's in your lane, you want to have enough time between you and the person behind you to, he watches the person move over or whatever they're doing, and you have enough time to react to the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've never seen like a cut and dry rule.
Mm-hmm.
But granted, I don't do large group rides usually. So I don't know. I've always felt it more organically. Like if you're going faster, you're probably a little more spread out. If you're going slower, you're a lot close. Like if you're in the city and you're light to light, you're pretty close. But never anything like, oh man, I gotta make sure I'm 1 second behind or
right. I mean, we definitely didn't listen to that on our group ride because we're
spread out like half a mile.
Yeah, half a mile back, and I mean, you can barely see them, their little specks in the mirror, and you're like, well, they're still going. So
yeah, that's funny you say that because as the head rider, I was constantly looking back in my rearview mirror to try to make sure that everyone is there. And then we'd go over like a mound, and I'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Where's the fifth?
5. There he is. Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
we were struggling there on one side.
Yeah. Well, that would have been the west side of the lake, right?
Yeah. Well, I think.
Well, I mean, we couldn't go very fast on the dirt road, so.
Oh no. Oh my gosh, dude, I'm still embarrassed.
That was still a shock to everybody because, like, they give you like 50 feet of road, and so you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
and then
totally
all of a sudden
road
it's just
right
like,
here. Nothing.
Like, where'd it go?
Yeah. That's why, because we came to that corner, and I was like, oh, okay, we can continue straight, but we're gonna turn left and go check out this place. And then when we were there, we're like, okay, it's closed. Let's just go back on that road. So I'm thinking we're good to go, and we turn onto it, everything's fine, and then no road.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I was so embarrassed. But we all got on it, and I didn't see anyone stop, and I was like, well, we're committed now.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be more of a pain to turn around than to just go straight.
I think it was funny because we had our following car, but then we had a car behind us. Behind the following car. I'm like, I just want to know what's going through their head right now of who are these 6 idiots on motorcycles on a dirt road?
Well, and it's not even like dirt biking bikes. They're like looking at all these bikes. These Harleys and the Indian and the Kawasaki Vulcan Classic or whatever Dennis had. And I'm just like, we probably look so stupid. They took a wrong turn.
We definitely made it, though. We were good.
What's next, Zach?
So the next segment, which is nice and easy, I feel like I get all the short ones. And I got a couple long
you'll
ones.
get some long ones.
So the next one is, pretty basic. It says arrive prepared. Arrive on time with a full tank of gas.
That's one thing that I feel like for the most part, everyone's like, yep, this is when kickstands are up. This is when we're leaving.
Mm-hmm.
You better be there or you're getting left behind.
Yeah.
But then I also feel like you always have that guy that's like, oh, I need more gas.
Uh-huh. I feel like all the group rides that we've gone on, it's been like, does everybody need to fill up?
Mm-hmm.
As if so, we're all stopping. So you get like a head count of who needs to fill up. And then the people that don't, they just sit there. But I feel like every single group ride I've been on, the first stop is to a gas station before you take off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just with our group ride the other day, we went from Garden City because I think we were thinking about maybe just fueling right next door at the gas station at the convenience store.
Which if we had, it would have had 91.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, but we decided we had enough gas to get to Lake Town at their small gas station, which was really cool, except for the fact it did not have 91.
Mm-hmm.
So Zach, we already talked about this, but Zach was smart enough to go grab some octane lifter
booster for us.
Yeah. So
yeah, and it worked.
It did fine.
The gas station was actually really cool because it was kind of like, it wasn't really like a hidden gem, but was one of those things where you're like, this is a tourist spot.
Right.
Like people hit this thing up all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it had like merchandise and then it had that cool ice cream shop. If it wasn't like first thing in the morning and we'd eaten breakfast, I'd want some freaking ice cream, dude.
Yeah, no kidding.
Side thought, with trying to be healthier, I have realized, because I felt like in my entire life, I'm like, I don't have a substance abuse problem. I don't care for drinking, don't care for smoking. And then the second I try to cut sugar out of my diet, I'm like, oh, I need sugar. Literally, I'll see somebody eating ice cream and I'm just like, oh, I need ice cream. I need it now. It's so bad, dude.
You've found your addiction.
Yeah, I'm like, holy crap. And then you, if you don't know anything about nutrition and you start researching it and you're like, what the heck? Everything I eat turns into sugar once it's in me, even if it's not sugar. It's not like I'm taking a spoonful of sugar and eating it. You might as well, because that bread turns into sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It's how your body's fueled.
Yeah. The army caught me being fat the other day. So that's why I'm like trying to be healthy and work out and eat better. And they're like, hey, fatty, lose some weight. My gosh. All right. Back on topic. Moving on. Hold a rider's meeting. Discuss things like the route, rest and fuel stops, and hand signals. Assign a lead and a sweep or tail. So a tail rider. Both should be experienced riders who are well-versed in group riding procedures. The leader should be aware of each rider's skill level before the ride, and monitor the riders during the ride. I don't feel like I led the entire way practically, and then sweep was just rotating, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I feel like it was all based on, I mean, we didn't really have a designated person, but like, because I started at the end the first
go
chunk. Through, and then I ended up moving into third, and then when we stopped again, I moved up to second. So I feel like, I mean, we were all experienced riders there, so it's not like I felt like, oh, we need, but like,
well, I feel, yes, there are some newer riders, but I think that it was either between you and Gary that were the back.
Yeah.
For the most part, or Dennis. And so you three are all experienced. So I wasn't super worried. The only two that were less experienced, which wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but like Mike and Josh are newer to riding. So it was fine. It worked out.
They hung out in the middle, so they were good, and we kept a close eye on them. So,
yep.
I definitely don't think we did all of these things in this.
Oh, no, dude. I said,
we definitely did hold a riders meeting. We discussed the route that we were going to go.
Correct.
And where we were going to stop.
Correct.
No hand signals at all.
No, dude. That's why I was like, we really should have just gone over this before we left.
And even as I was reading this, I'm coming down to the bottom and looking at all the things. I'm like, man, I only know like 6 of these.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get to that point here in a minute, but like,
No, it's a good point to have because I mean, I probably should. Yeah, we'll get to it, but there should have been probably some more research done beforehand.
yeah, it's all good. It's the whole thing with our trip was it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
There was learning the route. There was learning, I mean, we learned stuff about our motorcycles. Like Josh didn't know that he was running full air suspension on his motorcycle.
He's like, we're all like looking at our rear suspensions and pumping them up, and then Zach's looking at Josh's bike and he's like, there's another tube here.
Yeah.
Going forward.
You have an air hose to the front. Where does it go?
Yeah. And then we go to check mine and there's no air hoses, just a spigot.
Uh-huh.
And turns out mine are like a wrench adjustable one.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a wrench for. So that was nice. We couldn't up it up for all the extra weight with all of our baggage and everything, but that'd have been nice because it was bottoming out every time we went over a cattle guard or like a railroad. I was like,
yeah, yeah. It was definitely a learning experience, and so now here learning
post learn
just adds to the future,
Yeah.
So,
all right, you
keep the group to a manageable size. Ideally 5 to 7 riders. If necessary, break the groups into smaller subgroups. Separate by a few seconds, each with a lead and sweep rider.
Interesting. I've never been in... that's not true. I guess I have been in a group ride larger than 7. When I went with Gary and the CMA up to Idaho, I don't know, maybe had 12 or 15. But we were definitely one group, I'd say.
I don't feel like this is so implemented obviously it's a safety thing, but I don't feel like in big group scenarios they're going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is your group. Move
right.
on.
Yeah.
Like you stay as a group. If you go through the light, everybody goes through the light and just break. Because there was a time where we rode with, we didn't really, I guess we rode with them for a minute, but then we had to break off because we were going somewhere else. But we rode with a group of like 120.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Up the Wasatch back, or the Wasatch Mountains. And we ended up breaking off and going up Big Cottonwood Canyon. And they continued down into Salt Lake. But, like, they didn't come out and say, you're number 6 of 7. Stay with your group.
Well, that's the point I was going to make is if it's like a nonchalant or like just some event group ride, there's no way. They're going to have maybe one person up front and a follow car behind.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it at anything like that where they'll split people up because you have no idea what kind of riding experience people have and other people don't want that responsibility.
Right.
So there's no way that that's happening.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is if you ride in large clubs, associations, etc.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, because they're more organized.
Yeah.
So everyone knows each other and I don't know. Yeah.
But I also think at that point I believe they have like designated roles when it gets to that point.
Oh yeah. They got like road captain and president, like just everything. And then I think they have 2 people up front that will blockers and then 2 in the back that'll blockers and they kind of rotate.
Yeah.
I doubt this will come up with that because they probably don't want you blocking roads.
Right.
We're going to find out though. So let's see. Ride prepared. At least one rider in each group should
I'd probably say there's supposed to be a have in there.
Yes. Typo. Should have a first aid kit, a full toolkit, and all riders should carry a cell phone so the group is prepared for any problem that they might encounter. Somebody had a toolkit. Did you have?
So Josh had a toolkit. I had a jump pack and 2 air pumps. So really, if anything went down that way, we were fine.
Did you have your reserve fuel?
I did not.
Really?
I probably should have, but
Could have kept some 91 in there.
I could have. And I wouldn't have had to fill up.
Yeah, so we had that covered.
I don't think anybody had a first aid
Naughty
kit, though.
me. Naughty medic.
And
I
you're
should
the medic.
Well, I did think about it. I think I had some tourniquets in my bag, but I don't have a small bag is the issue. So I was already like smashing things into my bags.
Yeah.
But all my aid bags are like, I either have my huge one that's like 3 feet long or my smaller compact one, but it's still huge.
Yeah.
So I need to put together, a small to-go bag. That would be, I'd be all right doing that, being like, okay, if you need help, I'm the guy. But learning experience.
Right. Yeah.
We'll be better next time.
And I mean, that's really just, I guess that's just something that I've never thought about. But I mean, even when it comes to like burning your legs on pipes or, just small, simple stuff, it's like, oh, we definitely could have used a first aid kit on that.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the cool, it's food for thought in the future, but we can tailor an aid bag to the stuff we'd run into.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously some painkillers for back or neck or wrist, whatever. And then burns. I didn't think about that. You could get some burn cream and some wraps. The only reason I brought the tourniquets is like, in my brain, I'm like, if we're getting hurt, it's probably really serious.
Right.
So, stopping blood loss is first priority.
Mm-hmm. That's the medic mind that you have, though.
March, massive hemorrhage. Airway comes second.
Yeah.
Any other things you could think of? If some injuries that we might come into contact with? Maybe rolled ankles.
Yeah.
Something to
Maybe
wrap
like
an
a
ankle.
brace or something.
Yeah.
I know that it's not like key first aid kit type stuff, but like allergy pills can be a part of it too.
Yep. We call all those like comfort medicines,
right?
Like painkillers, and we call them Ranger candies.
Yeah.
Because we're just handing them out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, your head hurts. Here's some candy. Your nose is stuffy. Here's some candy.
Yeah. I think it's just, once again, stuff that we're learning, and something that I want to do here soon on my bike. And maybe this is actually where you could keep, some of this stuff is on the bag lids. They create those little pockets that you can, organizer pockets.
Are you talking about the ones that come down the front of your saddlebag or the ones that go on the top?
Actually in the lid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like a zipper lid.
Oh, interesting.
And it goes in. I don't know how exactly it works, but you attach it to the top part of your lid and it's got a zipper that goes around and you can just stuff a bunch of stuff up in there and you can zip it back up. And
yeah. I was just thinking another way we could mount it, because my bags were chock full. Like even if I had those zipper bags, they'd be smashed.
Right.
I have these. They go on the bars that kind of cover the front end of the saddlebags, and they strap from top to bottom. I was like, man, we could stuff all the stuff we need in there, and then that's just our to go aid bag.
Right.
Or we get really into it and we go and design a bag and make millions. That's how we fund the podcast.
Perfect.
Yes.
Let's do it. One person's going to buy it.
Nah, I bet you would be pretty good, actually.
Probably. You're right.
I'm just too broke to even figure it out. All right. Where were we?
Ride in formation.
There we go.
The staggered riding formation allows a proper space cushion between motorcycles so that each rider has enough time and space to maneuver and to react to hazards, which is kind of what I was leading at earlier when we were looking at the
diagram.
The diagram. The leader rides in the left third of the lane, while the next rider stays at least 1 second behind in the right third of the lane. The rest of the group follows the same pattern. A single file formation with a minimum 2-second following distance is preferred on a curvy road under conditions of poor visibility or poor road surfaces, entering/leaving highways or other situations where an increased space cushion or maneuvering room is needed.
I mean, I think that's really important. It probably would have been good to know the hand signs to tell everyone to do this, that, and the other. But I feel like we naturally did it. So like when we were going through the Weavy Canyons and, you know, it's just a 2-lane. So, I mean, if you go over, you could be running into a car or whatever. So we naturally kind of started single filing and taking up the whole lane so that we had some maneuverability.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice because when I did go on that group ride with the CMA, they, you know, were using hand signs and stuff. And I was like, I don't know what that means. But everyone looks like they're getting single file, so
I'm going to have to build something on, like, oh, that's what it, okay.
Just get it tattooed on your arm. Like, yep.
I know that one.
Can you imagine if you had that? Just a bunch of hand signs all across your arm. Look like a doofus.
Something that
This
I
one
didn't
means
think
slow
about
down.
is the entering and leaving the highways in a single formation. I mean, I feel like we do it no matter what.
Like getting onto an interstate?
Yeah. But it's like stay single file until you're on and then
start like sorting out.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like I'm glad that we had just 6.
6
because
with the car.
with the car. I felt like it was easier to stay as a group. Any more than that, I feel like it's really hard to, because as the leader, for example, when we were trying to leave and go home, we were sitting at that intersection right next to the grocery store, and I'm looking left, I'm looking right. Okay, I'm clear on this side, but there's enough distance for me and like maybe the next 3 people to get through, but then the last 2 would be cut off, and then we have a vehicle in between us, and so it would have been a huge pain. Anything bigger than that, it'd probably be really hard to find a gap large enough, and especially depending on where you're at. Like if you're in a busier part of town, or even Bear Lake in the hot of summer. I mean, it was a lot more empty now because apparently everything's closed after Labor Day. So, yeah, I mean, maybe that's why it's good also to split up your group. Say if we had 20 people.
Yeah.
Probably have to get a second house, though.
I don't know. That couch is pretty big. I don't know if
mega
you'd want
bed
to sleep with other people on the bed, but I mean,
that's weird. I'm not up for it.
I feel like we still had a lot of space, though.
Yeah, you could probably have a couple people out on the upstairs and downstairs, but you just have to have people volunteer to be like, yeah, I'm okay on a couch. The couch was probably more comfortable than my bed. We had the same type of bed, right? Horrible. I'm pretty sure when I left a review, I was like, everything was great. Those cushions were garbage, though.
Yeah.
Other than that and the towel thing.
Yeah.
We had everyone was like going to take showers after rides and going to the hot tubs and whatever, and then we had like 4 or 5 towels or something like that. Turns out they're all in the dryer, hadn't been put away yet. Anyways, let's see. Avoid side-by-side formations. I was wondering if this was going to come up. As they reduce the space cushion, if you suddenly need to swerve to avoid a hazard, you would not have the room to do so. You don't have handlebars to get entangled. Man, I can't say that really clear. You don't want handlebars to get entangled. I was curious because I do see some people ride like tight and close and side by side. It looks super cool.
Yeah. You don't have any margin for error, though.
No, not at all, especially on like a 2-lane. Because you go over the edge and then people are getting whacked. Yeah, don't do that.
Which is something that I never thought about.
Really?
Yeah.
I would just be nervous because like you'd have to be everyone would have to be really good riders. Really good riders.
I don't feel like you see it as much now, though. A lot of things are staggered.
Yeah, I bet you go to a rally or something, you'd see it.
Yeah,
but that's just because clubs and associations and everything, they're showing up.
Periodically check the riders following using your rear view mirrors, which is what you did a bunch.
Yeah,
if you see a rider falling behind, slow down so they can catch up. If all the riders in the group use this procedure, the group should be able to maintain a fairly steady speed without pressure to ride too fast to catch up.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, Zach?
Many issues with this. I feel like we were going 5 under, and the people behind us still weren't catching up.
Well, and they were saying that they were speeding to catch up.
Right.
I was like, what are you talking about?
There's no way.
He's like, I don't know. I couldn't keep up. I just had to keep going faster. I'm like, Josh, what are you talking about, dude? We were going 500 the whole way. And granted, I mean, that was our first group ride with all these people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure next time it'll be, people have been gotten better, especially the newer guys, and then we'll get better,
Yeah. Once again, learning experience.
Yep. Yeah, I tried so hard because I'm like, one, I want us to stick together. I don't want anyone to feel like they're getting left out or left behind. I want it to be safe. And I think it looks way cooler when you look, you're all even.
Right.
I know that's really stupid. Just like, I just want to look cool riding down the road. But that's why we have Harleys, dude. We want to look cool.
Exactly.
If you're separated from the group, don't panic. Your group should have pre-planned procedures in place to regroup. Don't break the law or ride beyond your skill to catch up. Very, very, very important, that last part, I feel like. Don't ride beyond your skills to catch up. Mm-hmm. I went on a group ride with Tucker Speed, and we went up Ogden Canyon and then took Trapper's Loop. And when they hit Trapper's Loop, half the group just bombed it, just went flying up the hill. And I was going, and I was like, I'm not keeping up with this. And there was a lot of us that weren't. So I just like, I'm not, I know where they're going. I know they're going to this bar. We're all going to eat there, and we'll get there when we get there. You know? But yeah, don't. I think that's really important with group rides with people you don't know, or like events. You don't want to just go get yourself killed,
right?
Trying to catch up or get arrested for going 30 over or something like that.
For sure.
So keep that in mind. And with that, make sure maybe in that pre-planning meeting that your group understands that. Like, hey, look, I'm not comfortable doing this. Let's keep together.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that it's cool that you bring it up is that, going up, don't be afraid to tell somebody, hey, I'm not really comfortable with this. I'll do it. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
But just know I'm going to need, extra space or extra time or, just so that I'm not pushing myself more than I should,
Right. Yeah. And that was one thing I was worried about when we hit that dirt road. I was like, I hope everyone's okay with this. And the only ones I was really worried about was Mike and Josh being newer riders. But Mike was in our headset, so I was like, if he's going to say something, he'll let me know. Well, hopefully he felt comfortable enough to let me know. But we made it all right.
I feel like his bike was pretty good setup, though. With them fat tires.
Yeah, he probably had it easiest out of all of us, which was probably a good thing. But his is lower to the ground, fatter tires.
Yeah.
I was like, man, hopefully don't hit any gravel and just slide out all over.
Yeah, that would not be good.
I'll just read the next one real quick. For mechanical and medical problems, use cell phone call assistance situation warrants. I mean, pretty cut and dry. If you break down, call up whoever's in charge or whatever, or if you have a medical issue, call for help. So
luckily we have medic with us, so we were fine.
I was sort of prepared. I had a tourniquet. That's all I had. If your limb's gone, yeah, I would have made it helped you out there.
If a rider leaves during the ride, the rest of the group should reform the staggered formation by crisscrossing into the next vacant position. Although it seems more efficient for the column directly behind the missing rider to move up, we do not recommend it because passing another rider within a lane can be risky.
I wouldn't have thought about that.
It's not another thing. Yeah, it's not a thing that I would have thought about either because I feel like
just move up
rather than going like this. But I mean, it totally makes sense.
Yeah, because then
Just
everyone's still in the same distance front and back, and then you're just sliding over.
Yep.
So I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 hand signs, and I'm sure there's more. The other thing that I struggle with hand signs is I feel like there's always more than one, depending on who you ride with and how long they've been riding. Maybe there's older or more official hand signs, because I mean, even the single file one we're looking here,
it's just a finger up.
It's just pointing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've seen it like this, kind of like making a mohawk looking hand sign, or I feel like maybe I've even seen it where they throw their hand behind them to go like this. But
yeah.
So stop, arm extended straight down, palm facing back. So left hand, I think that it kind of goes into more detail with these, but obviously with your accelerator, you're going to be using your left hand for 90% of these. Arm and finger, index finger extended straight up. That's the single file. So we've already talked about some instances where that'd be useful, going through canyons, getting on the interstate. I'm trying to think of any others.
I don't feel like, and maybe it's just because we ride in such small groups, but I feel like it's just natural to just single file. Because like we said, we never used the signal.
No.
But naturally, we all just kind of and started, on the curvy, windy roads, we were just automatically slide over, give yourself more space. You don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
They don't know you're coming,
And I was especially worried in Logan Canyon because growing up in Cache Valley, I've been through Logan Canyon a lot. And some people are really, really bad drivers in Logan Canyon, and there's not that room. So there's a lot of accidents in Logan Canyon.
Right.
And so I was really grateful that it was as chill as it was, because I was like, man, if we come around one of these tight corners and somebody's crossing the lane because they're just stupid, then someone's getting hit.
Yeah.
So we really lucked out. We didn't have any mechanical issues. We didn't have any injuries. No heat exhaustion. That's another thing you probably think about is making sure you're hydrated and you're fed, because if your body can't cool, especially in the summer, you're gonna pass out. If you don't have food, you might not have the energy.
Which I feel like we had that covered, at least on my bike. We had food and we had water supplies on board.
We didn't have any food, but we did have water, and so anytime we were stopping, we were taking a sip, hand it off,
Yeah.
between my wife and I. So, yeah, make sure you have water. Make sure you have maybe some snacks to keep your blood sugars.
Mm-hmm.
Want to get the next three? Or I guess, I'll finish off. Turn signal on. I've never seen this one before. Open and close hand with fingers and thumb extended. When would you... Was that just like a turn's coming up, get ready kind of thing?
I don't know. Because honestly, I mean, you're going... Unless your bike doesn't have turn signals, which is rare, I feel like your natural thing is just to click the button. I don't know. Or maybe this is telling somebody that, like, you're telling somebody, hey, your turn signal's on, turn it off.
Maybe. That makes more sense. But I feel like that's more helpful for somebody who's going in the opposite direction.
Right.
You can see it. I don't know. Because they're not going to, I mean, maybe if they're looking in their mirror at you.
Yeah. I don't know.
For those of you who know these better, let us know.
Yes. Please reach out and let us know. We're learning.
Yeah.
Slow down. Arm extended, straight out, palm facing down, which is, I feel like is...
That one's simple. Yep, just flapping like a chicken. Just let them know. Slow down.
Double file, arm with index and middle finger extended straight up. So rather than just the one, it's the two.
Just the peace sign.
Fuel, arm out to side, pointing to the tank with the arm or the finger extended.
That's good. That's good to know. I mean, I've always just like rode up to, if I wasn't the lead rider, I'd just ride up farther and be like,
yeah,
I'm not doing any fancy. But the nice thing about this is, if you're in front or whatnot, you can make that a lot more visible this way. Kind of chicken winging it out.
One of the biggest issues, though, is that sometimes I feel like I just ride like this.
Oh, you put your hand on your hip?
Yeah.
Do you think it might look
like it?
I
kind of just go like this. And so, like, if somebody, he needs to fill up. Like, no, I'm just relaxed.
I feel like that's why you got to get, like, your finger in out so they can see it from the side.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, speed up, just kind of opposite of slow down. So you got your palm up and you're just...
Upward flapping chicken.
Upward flapping. Because that's a thing. Hazard in the roadway. This was one thing that I've known-ish, but I didn't realize that when you do left versus right, you're going to do it differently. Because I've always just done feet.
Me too.
But if you have a hazard on the right, point with the right foot. On the left, point with the left hand.
I always just cover it with my foot.
I think it's just because if there wasn't, it would suck if you had an issue and then another issue right after. And you needed to downshift,
right? Yeah.
But granted, even in that case, you'd need your left hand.
Still need your clutch. Still need your left hand.
Hopefully, you don't have two issues. Yeah, I've always done 2 feet.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's necessarily really bad, but when I'm riding point and I'm left side, I'm almost exclusively using my right foot. Unless if it's directly in that far left lane and having to go around it into the center.
Right.
Refreshment stop. This is a new one. Fingers crossed, thumb to mouth. Wait.
Fingers closed.
Closed. Thumb to mouth. Just,
kind
of I need food.
Yeah. Just suck on your thumb.
Just suck on your thumb. You'll be fine. No need to stop.
You lead or / come. Arm extended upwards 45 degrees. Palm forward facing with index fingers swing in arc from back to front. So
okay, so it's kind of like this. Easy enough.
Yeah. High beam. Tap top of the helmet with open palm down.
I always thought this was to let people know there were cops.
So did I.
And I feel like if you did that, 90% of people would think the same.
Everybody's going to think that there's a cop.
Yeah. High beam. So, what if you left your high beams on? Same with the signal?
That's what I'd be guessing. Turn your high beam off. Comfort stop. Forearm extended, fist clenched with short up and down motion.
Is that just like rest? Like get your butt off the seat?
Probably.
Stretch a little bit. Forearm extended, fist clenched.
Just like
short up and down.
Short up and down
I see you. Yeah, this would be good for a pre-ride meeting.
Yeah.
Follow me. Arm extended straight up from shoulder, palm forward. So no waving, just straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And then pull off is our last one. Arm positioned as far right, turn. Hold on. Arm positioned as for right turn, forearm swung towards shoulder. So just
kind of like you're making a moon.
Crescent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which one's your favorite new one that you didn't know? Mine's definitely sucking the thumb.
I was going to say the same thing. Mine's definitely the refreshment stop.
No, wait. Yeah. Sorry. I was looking at it and I was reading refreshment stop and then looking up instead of down. And I was like, that's the fuel one, isn't it? We've been reading this whole thing backwards.
I feel like, though, mine's more like this.
Yeah.
Like, I need water.
Well, and I think that's the important thing, as long as everyone in the group understands.
Right.
Because, I mean, even in the military, there's lots of hand signs for different things, operating in silence. And there's like the textbook definition of the hand sign, and then there's like simplified versions. Because, I mean, maybe throwing your arm up and flapping like a chicken just is a little much for your balance. If you're a newer rider, I don't know. If you can find some simpler ways of doing it, figure it out. And just let the rest of the group know.
I think that's the biggest thing is make sure everybody's on board with the same signals that you're using. That way, if you do something, then, you know, they know and they're not like, what does that one mean? I don't know. You know?
Yeah. Well, I feel like I learned some new things.
Yeah.
The hand signs especially. There's a couple other of those little things that I just wouldn't have thought of, but it's just good food for thought. And then I'm sure there's people watching or listening. They're like, man, what a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, we're still learning. Everybody's still learning.
Yeah. And it's just like when we had Randy on, he's like, you can always go and take more classes. It's good to take refreshers. It's good to get courses to become a better rider.
Yeah.
When you're doing group rides, you do have a responsibility to the other riders to be the best rider you can be. So that's really important. I've always said it with 2-up riding. I mean, we can bring that up too. When you have a second person, it's not just your life because they have no control. Yeah. That person behind you can't do anything to save you if there was an issue. Yeah. 2-up riding. I mean, everyone in our group was 2-up riding. No, except for Mike. But his wife was pulling rear support if we needed it in the car. So, I mean, I feel like we all did pretty good. I mean, there weren't any issues. I think Josh and Elisa, I want to pronounce it right because I feel like I wasn't getting it right the whole trip. But she doesn't care. She was very polite about it. So he was considerate of her needs. You know, her new to riding on the back of a motorcycle. That's something else you need to think about if you're taking somebody that you've never taken before, and educate them. Sit down and be like, hey, this is what it's going to be like. This is some stuff that I'm going to have to do to ride safely, and this is what I need you to do to help me accomplish that. Yeah. Another safety thing that I thought about was so nice having at least half the group with communication. Yeah. Zach and I have the Cardo Pack Talk, and so did Mike. I think that was just the 5 of us. So me, Ellie, you, Michaela, and Mike. Yeah. That was awesome. If we can get everyone to have those, that'd be amazing.
I know Gary and Josh are on board. I just told them, hey, they're expensive right now. Wait for the sale.
When is that sale for those who are listening that are interested in getting those? Because you said it's every year, right?
Yeah, so they have a big Valentine's Day sale. Smart. And I believe it runs from like the 8th to the 28th or something like that. Okay. And it's one of the greatest sales that they have. Everything goes off like 40%. Oh, dang. And you just, that's when I got mine. And the series that I had it's the Pack Talk Bold. Right. And I think regular price is like $452 something. And I got
for 2
mine. Yeah, for 2 of them. Everything that they sell for the sale is in a duo.
Yeah, because it's
for Valentine's Day. Yeah. Duh. So for you and your partner. I got mine for like $256. Oh wow. So half off.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I did not do that. I think I didn't pay full price, but I'm pretty sure I bought mine off Amazon. And it was not that cheap. It was like 300 and something. So yeah.
And even on Amazon, if you save it to your cart, they'll notify you when it drops. Hey, this thing's on a 35% off sale.
So when they do that sale, do you have to buy it directly from Cardo? or is it show up on sale on all their sites and Amazon and everything?
I think it showed. I don't know, because when I looked up the Valentine's Day sale, I only looked it up on
From
Cardo.
Cardo.
I didn't look it up on anything else. So, because I got the email from Cardo saying, "Hey, check this out."
Yeah,
So,
I wish I'd have known that, but
Yeah.
I got mine 4 years. No, not 4. Probably like 2.5 years ago. I love them. It's nice. You can listen to music.
I feel
you
like
can,
I got mine right after you did.
really not
Yeah.
far after.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Why didn't you help me out, dude?
Sorry.
No, but like it's super convenient. You can listen to music, or my wife listens to podcasts.
Mhm.
She's listening to true crime all night. You know? It mutes it as soon as you start talking, or not mutes it, but subdues it, and then you can use the Cardo app to connect multiple systems together and just mesh it all and talk to everyone, which was super convenient. Like, hey, there's this road hazard coming up. You don't even have to take a foot off.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I need to get gas, or who's hungry, or,
Mhm.
you know, there's all sorts of things. It takes the hand sign thing kind of out of the equation.
Right.
I don't know if I'd want more than the amount of people we had, though. Like if we had the whole group, if we had 12 headsets, it might get a little crowded.
Yeah.
Because I did notice that, because you were listening to your music on your stereo, right?
Mhm.
Every so often my music would like dim just because it could hear your music from your side. I was like, gosh dang it, Zach. I'm trying to listen to my music.
Could have said something.
Nah, it's okay. It
Chose
wasn't that
not
bad.
to.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I think that's everything we had planned for today.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys learned something new, and like we did, and can apply it and make yourselves a little better riders and some safe riders, and get on some more group rides.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
I'm hoping to have some of our ride footage
Oh, yes.
edited and ready to go, and we can actually throw some stuff out on the socials or throw it up on YouTube so you guys can,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
need to
be a
work
part
together and get
of,
that.
you know, the ride that we just went on and the rides that we'll be going on.
Yes.
So yeah, that's in the works right now. I finally got the system to work with my computer. So
Yeah, I've
it's in the
got
works.
a couple hours of GoPro footage I need to sort through,
Mhm.
and we'll get to it. It's something that I want to get done, and then start making some to-go videos and
Yeah.
some shorter form reviews or talking head, or
Yeah.
just stuff Zach and I can do on the side, so that you guys have some more content to listen to.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep your eyes out for all the new stuff coming your way. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and get on the Discord, join the Discord, and see updates. YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, iTunes. It's on everything. So if you do find it where it's not,
Please let us know.
yep, we'll make it happen.
Yep.
So thank you for listening. Thank you to all of our listeners who are current every week. That's what blows my mind, is I'll run into people that I didn't even know were listening, and they'll be like, hey, really enjoying your show. Like, that's so cool. Thank you. You're making it worthwhile.
Yeah.
One other thing I did want to announce, and I will send out information as it comes out, and we need your guys' help to do this. If you guys are tech savvy and have seen some of our equipment that we use, we predominantly use Rode recording equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Rode has a competition going on right now, or, competition. And they are trying to promote new content creators. So I put in our channel as a content creator under travel, I think is what we put it under. And they're going to have 2 awards per category, and then they're going to have an upcoming award, and then the overall best content creator award. Don't think we're at the best content creator award level yet, but we might be at a category award level.
Yeah.
If we could get enough, because they do 2 awards. One's by road, I believe, and then the other one's by vote.
Oh,
So please, if you listen, or if you know people that might be interested in listening, or just get the word out. I mean, vote for our category, for our channel, so that we can get some money to make this podcast even that much better.
Yeah.
I mean, get some, because it comes, they do 2-part prizes. Some of it is equipment, and then some of it's cash. So we can buy stuff for the room. We can get stuff for to-go recording, so we can make better content when we're out and going to events. So if you're interested in seeing us grow and making our community that much better, please vote for our channel, and we'll see where we can take this.
Yeah, one of the biggest things is that it's not just for us and our pleasure. I mean, we enjoy this. We love giving this, time to you guys, but I mean, we want to make this the best listening and watching experience that we can, so that, I mean, you guys have, a memorable experience. And so anything and any way that we can do that, I mean, we'll take whatever we can get. So yeah, go ahead, go out there and vote for us, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, as far as I know, voting starts mid-October, and then announcements are like the first week of November. So
Sweet.
That will be news that we'll put out on Discord, on Instagram. I'll be going to all the local Facebook group pages and putting that out there. So keep your eyes out for more information. But just like Zach said, we just want to grow this to make it more fun for more people, and to have a community that enjoys communicating. Like we want, just like when we did phone calls, having people call in, or going to events and handing out stickers, and we're working on t-shirts and I just messaged a couple of the people that won for the sticker contest that we had, and we're getting a shirt out to a guy from the Peach Days motorcycle show. So the more that we can grow, the more stuff we can get made, the more stuff we can give out. It'll just be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So thank you for all you guys do. It's awesome seeing the podcast grow every single week. And it's all due to you guys. So please share it with your friends that ride, and anybody who listens to podcasts, because even people that don't ride, like I have a coworker, he doesn't ride, and he listened to an episode and he's like, man, that was really cool. Like I was worried that I wouldn't be interested. I, wouldn't feel like I understood, but we tried to make it an open environment where people can learn from listening to each episode. So
yeah,
make sure to share, and we'll take this where we can take it,
Heck yeah.
But until next week, we'll see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.